So we just had the KC Cup finish in Duel Links, and with it comes our real first look at what the best decks are in the game. Given that community tournaments aren't being run, really, everything's kind of gone to Master. There's a few here and there, but no MCS for Duel Links. I think people kind of expected this to be the case, right? You know, PKs, Tier 1, first place global, this was always going to happen. These are a stupidly strong deck with a stupid amount of combat potential, and I don't know how they would hit them, if they want to, because Yuto hasn't come back yet. So when Yuto comes back in either May, or maybe in June like last year, then they're going to want to sell you on Phantom Knights again. And so giving them more support, and making you go into the old box, are they really going to make, you know, going to go and hit one of the new ultra rares, the super rares, right? Are they going to do that? Probably not. So I think if anything does kind of get hit, maybe it'll be a light hit, right, to the gloves, which is a free-to-play card level up. Make that limit 3, so you turn off the Cosmic Cyclone, but really the big thing is your Book of Moons, right? This deck, Book of Moon, actually, in this event, Book of Moon is probably the MVP card for so many different decks and strategies. In second place, though, was a deck I didn't expect, and I think a lot of people didn't expect. It was Metalfoes, and a Pendulum deck being very, very good in Duel Links is very, very good to see. Now, this new card, right, Fusion, they gave us a hard limit 1. Konami knew what they were doing. They knew right before KC Cup, we'll give them this, and maybe this will sell the box. What you notice is the you know, first place deck was a brand new mini box card from January, right? This is a brand new deck. Second place, the main box from February. This was brand new deck, right? And this does hard counter Gandora. You've got your quick effect pop in Orichalc if you use the Fusion, and then your Steel. In Gandora, they do it mainly on their turn, right? But it's usually their turn 3 they go for the big Gandora play, and if you can stop 2 Gandoras, then you've pretty much stopped that deck in their tracks. I'm not investing in this deck personally, but, you know, if Metalfoes players, your investment has paid off. It's actually a great deck in this current form we have in Duel Links. And then, number 3 is another Metalfoes deck. Playing the new Summoner's Art from Bakura, which is, you know, always good to see. Number 4, we don't have. Number 5 is, again, Phantom Knights, with your Floodgates, also going to be a very powerful card in this format. Number 6, because of this, Triple D, oh my god. This was the bane of my existence on ladder. Like, Phantom Knight matchups were really fun. I was playing Burning Abyss, the Chaos Snake for Burning Abyss deck, which was really good against Gandora. But this was the bane of my existence because they have so many options, right? They have their Orthros, which is your back row removal, which can be recycled for more than 1 per turn. Really, really good. But your main play is your Book of Moon and your Floodgate to put a monster in face down defense, because your main card is your Super King Sight 0 Maxwell. This card, when attacks a ventures monster, can make its defense 0 and does piercing. So this was a very, very good OTK deck, just kind of insane. Sometimes you won because your opponent didn't realize they had their, you know, their Dark Contracts on the field. A very explosive OTK deck that is really, really good in a KC Cup format, where your goal is to get wins as quickly as possible. A brand new deck still, right? Arc 5 War deck being good is really great to see. Then we go to rank 8, and this was DDD, this was Lunalights, and this was Gandora. And there was Heroes. I don't think this saw much play on ladder, but playing the tech card of the Shadow Prism Mirror is really funny because there's no dark extra heroes, right? And so this card, if you can get to it, counters Gandora, it counters DDDs, it counters Phantom Knights. At 9, we had Lunalights again. This always comes up in KC Cups, and this is kind of the reason why this deck is on the Forbidden Limited list in the way it is. And so I don't think they'll change anything. It is just a good deck for this format. Of course, your big Saber Dancer, people are playing with White Princess instead of Sphere Grebo because it makes it more free to play. Rank 11, more DDDs. Rank 12, here is Gandora. The big fat fucking pile of a deck. This is one of the most explosive decks in Duel Links history. And there's 2 different versions, right? There's the Thunder Dragon Levianeer version, and this Gadget version that more focuses on the Earth Machines, right? If you have your Wyvern, Wyvern searches Box, Box searches out your Karakuri, and that's 2 more cards in hand to either return back or to just use as discard fodder for your Gandora. There's also the new tech of the Starship Spy Plane, which is great for most decks in the game that summon exceeds turn 1. If you're playing against it, summon this, they then remove one of their back row. That's 1 less interruption they have to waste or not use against your big Gandora plays, and I think this deck will see a hit sooner than later. This skill alone in being able to dump cards for free and get a switcheroo, regardless of what the deck was, is so good. It's so good. And we've seen with the brand new skill for Aporia and for Primo, they're doing something similar, and they've got a really weird restriction on it. Now, this guy is also playing the Levianair build of the Gandora, and I was playing, as I said earlier, I was playing the Burning Abyss Cursed Necrophid build, which is really funny against Gandora, because if you've got a Farfa on the field under an Xyz, when they do their Gandora banish, every card gets banished, but that Farfa, because it's not on the field, goes to the graveyard, banishing the Gandora, which means, given they've paid half their life points, you can make the Nightmare Shark on your turn, and just attack them directly for game. And it's so funny that that can beat Gandora, and that was my win con for Gandora 99% of the time. And so I think they could do a thing where they put Gandora Giga Rays to 3, so you can't play Levianair in it, but it wouldn't matter anyway, right? Because people just wouldn't play that. They go and play the normal big Gandora build without it, like they play this. I think the important thing is the skill changes to force away the use of any form of Levianair, and make it so Gandora is more risky to use, right? Because at the moment, it's just, you search 2, you summon your normal Gandora, you nuke the board. Does that work? If it does, great. If it doesn't, then you summon your other Gandora. Does that work? Okay, that probably does work. If you get disrupted, then sure, you got hand traps in hand anyway. It feels like the second they have a Gandora, you know, that is the game done. There is no risk or reward involved with Gandora, which I think is kind of the point of the card. Is it's meant to be a high risk, high reward play, but with the skill, there's no real risk. And with the deck being so good at searching, there's no real risk either. This deck is so good, of course, because of Gandora shuts it down, but any other deck, if you have no way to remove their Buster Dragon, then you are kind of boned. And it's all good because of Draw Sense low level. Why this hasn't been up to 1500 yet, I don't know. I think it will. I think this will be the time they'll do it, because you can get off one Cosmic and immediately get your Buster Whelp. And then that gets you your trap card, or your spell card if you need it. And then from then on, your field in one turn can be a Cyber Slash or a Scrap Dragon, a Buster Dragon, and a Buster Blader, which is fucking ridiculous, which means that if you do have an out for your card, right? If you have a spell card out like a Book of Moon, you can then play your Cyber Slash Harpy Lady and bounce back one of your opponent's cards. And so you're kind of removing that advantage your opponent would be getting. There were games where they just utterly destroyed me, but when you do out this deck, in the KC Cup, it feels so good because it's so methodical in how you do it. Then we have Witchcrafters. Okay, didn't really see this one much. I think I saw it maybe once or twice, and they're not playing the Neos build, which is okay. This looks like standard Witchcrafters. Sure, if they can be good at KC Cup, that is great for them. I know Shui will probably be very happy. Your Senjus, of course, are going to come out of the woodworks, right? Just a great deck for winning fast games, especially in the earlier on ranks. Suddenly come one, some another one, bounce one, attack in, back to the hand, maybe set your back row, and then you're golden for a turn. And you rinse and repeat, you rinse and repeat. Maybe you summon your Sin if you get 3 on board, you go for an OTK, but in general, just one of the most consistent decks we see in KC Cup along with Moonlights. You always know they're going to be there. Is there anything else really spicy in here that was actually kind of right? There's the Thunder Dragons, no Levianair in this one though. So, okay. Maybe people aren't playing Levianair because it's a bit more expensive than these other cards are. Double Metalfoes, 2 different builds, right? Playing Box of Friends. Oh my god, that's kind of fun, right? Box of Friends, right, with the Master Pendulum. Cool. That's really cool to see. No Zaid King lists, but I think he put them on Twitter, so should check them out. Fire King. Oh, not this one actually, no. There was a lot of Hazy Flames in Stage 2, right? And Hazy Flames would do their thing where they would summon this boy here. They would summon their True King Akhlamazood. And you need to get rid of this in Hazy Flame as soon as you can. Right? If they summon this, you get rid of it, because the second you don't, they summon 2 Hazies untargetable, and then you lose the duel because every other card in your deck is non-targeting removal. If you see this, you get rid of it. You see this on a Kaiba, you get rid of it. Evil Eye, again, they always kind of come at the woodworks for KC Cups, just a general, a good deck for people that don't have to play around them. More Metalfoes, more DDDs. So it seems like Metalfoes and DDD are going to be the most represented decks in the top 100. Of course, we have very few lists of this. I would not be surprised if they do hit them in some way. I don't know how they would, but this is the thing, is without this, I wouldn't have thought the DDs would have been a problem, you know, on normal ranks. But after this, after KC Cup, you're probably going to see them a ton more. And so maybe I might think, we buff the skill. Should we hit the cards now? Should we not? But anyway, that is the top decks in Duel Links. Let's look at the tier list real quick and see what this kind of thing. Yeah, no. Like, I know this is like best of 3, right? But I think this is meant to be a KC Cup tier list, so this wasn't really a thing. Harpies as well. I saw 1 or 2 Harpies in tier 2. And it was really just Gandora, Phantom Knights, Buster Blader, and of course the DDDs. And so go to power rankings, and that looks a lot more like what happened, but of course Metalfoes took the tier 2 spot in this case, and everything else kind of fits. DDD as well should probably be tier 2, but yeah, that is my thoughts on the newest decks in Duel Links, the best decks in Duel Links at the moment. Just a quick fun video. Should have some gameplay videos back tomorrow hopefully, but anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.